This your girl Indigo Queen. Good morning. I hope everyone has a blessed morning. I hope you stay prayed up, keep the faith, keep moving, and allow God to lead you. Okay? So I had these I must say the most scariest dream that I have ever had that I thought until last night was when I was 6 years old, and for 3 nights straight I was chased by a leprechaun. Okay, hee ha ha, laugh, it's cool. That's a whole nother story, right? Because it was some realistic things that happened amongst that dream. Okay, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. The thing is, let me turn this down. The thing is, this dream last night, y'all, I don't even know how it came to play, okay? Like, I don't know what it was that was on my mind other than me breaking down a dream. And this dream I had was like 2.5 years ago, okay? So, before I went to sleep last night, that dream popped back up in my head, and for some odd reason, it was just on my spirit heavy, and it was like, that's why this and that's why that, because I did go through a situation that the dream had actually prophesied to me, right? Didn't understand it at the time. I did not understand it at the time, but I do now, okay? But it was some other stuff in the dream that was still very much so not necessarily confusing, but I didn't understand it. Like, the meaning was deeper than what I'm actually thinking, okay? And I knew that. So I don't know why this dream popped back up in my memory. And I think I've done a video on it. I'm not sure, but I'll check. But anywho, the dream was basically it was a spiritual dream, okay? And it was about faith. It was about overcoming generational curses. It was about overcoming witchcraft and roots and things that was put on me, right? And surviving the things that the enemy meant to destroy me, right? It had family in there. It had people a person that I was close to, they relatives in there, okay? So, anywho, I that's the last thing I remember being on my mind before I fell into this deep sleep, okay? Now, this dream, I'm talking about sleep, was, hold on. Okay, so I'm back. So, okay, back to what I was saying. Now, y'all, this dream, it's not hard to talk about, but it was so realistic that I felt the fear outside of my dream. That when I woke up, I was clenching my pillow, like my face was smashed into my pillow, okay, and I was laying on my stomach, okay. So, anywho, in the dream, it started out, I was around other people, different ages, okay. It was young, old. I want to say it was a church, some type of church organization, but then again, I don't. Like, it was some type of organization. I don't know if it was a school, a college, a church. It was something. People was socializing, okay? So, I don't even know what happened, but this woman appeared beside me, right? This woman did not make me feel like she was divine, holy, or nothing like that. Like, when I say this woman being by me gay, I felt a emotion of fear, but there was nothing to see that was fearful, okay? But it did not fit right. It did not feel right, okay? And this woman just stayed by my side, and she was talking. The crazy part is I cannot remember all the discussions that we were having, right? All I know is like she was just like promising me things. She was taking me on this walk, and out of nowhere, it was like once we was around people, it was like everything was dark. So I knew whatever this woman was, she was evil, right? And I'm like, the fuck? Excuse my language, but it was like I didn't say. So at this point, it was like she was taking me on this type of tour of darkness, y'all. But it was like at the same time, like she was hoping I was manipulated by the promises and didn't realize I was walking in darkness. Hold on. And okay, so like I said, it was like a one. It was like a. It was like a. It wasn't a hallway, y'all. It was like we were walking this road. So only thing I can really remember is just me shaking my head side to side or up and down. Like I don't really remember saying anything to this woman, nothing at all. Okay, so that's another part that really got to me. So, oh Lord, this is a one-way thing. Well, it ain't today. I ain't about to go all the way around. They got room if they want to enter. But this traffic is crazy this morning. But sorry y'all. But okay, so it was like a road, y'all, and it was like the road was a clear path, but on the side of me it was nothing but darkness. All I saw was darkness. I don't know if that was her intentions, but I knew spiritually I saw darkness. I felt fear, but there was nothing to fear that I could see. Okay, and she had a black cloth on. Like she wasn't an ugly woman. Of course she was black. She had thick, luscious hair. You know what I'm saying? I cannot tell you what her eyes look like. I can't really describe her face, but there was nothing covering. Okay. No, because the only thing I remember about her face is at the end of the dream when shit started popping, when shit was about to pop off. Okay, what actually fucked me up? I don't. Oh hell, let me back the fuck up. About to hit my booty, not my booty, but my front end. But yeah, so she's just showing me this. Oh yeah, you can have this or you can have that, and I'm just looking like, why do I want anything dark? Like this is what I'm saying to myself, right? And she just kept leading me and leading me. So she was like, yes, all this is yours. I don't want this. It's dark. I don't want nothing dark. Like, why is it so dark? But like I said, I know the path that she was showing me, it was light, right? But when I looked to the outskirts of the path that we were walking, everything was dark. Like, I don't think it was meant for me to see all that, because like I said, she was trying to draw me in. So I was like, yeah. Because at this point, I'm really trying to figure out what's really going on. And so she ended up disappearing. Okay, and I guess this was my test to see. Come on. Hold on, y'all. So, yeah. So now this woman is no longer around me. And now that she is no longer around me, I don't see no darkness or no shadows or nothing like that. I'm just walking. And I don't know where I'm walking to. I don't know what's really going on. You get what I'm saying? I remember the things it was like I remember what she was saying, but I didn't. It was like I didn't care. So then, I walked into, I don't know if it was a church. It was something divinely, okay? It was something godly. And this girl started singing, okay? And I was like, this is what I want, right? This is what I want. Like, at that point, everything was like, this is what I want. Like, she was singing a gospel song. I'm like, this is what I want. I love this song. So in the midst of all the stuff that she was like, I don't even remember what the promises and stuff that woman said, right? All I know is this feeling right here is the feeling that I wanted. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I felt at peace. I felt the spirit in God, godly spirit inside of me. And I began to hum the same song this girl was singing, and she was praising, worshiping, y'all. She was praising, worshiping. I started praising and worshiping, right? So now a familiar face popped up, y'all. My dad popped up. And if y'all know about, you know what I'm saying, any of the little posts that I posted, my dad's being sick or whatever. My dad popped up, right? Now, he didn't say nothing. He ain't say nothing. He just stood by my side this whole time. And I really feel that every time I've had a dream about my dad, y'all, I really feel like it be God. That's how God come to me, as my dad. You know what I'm saying? Your dad is your protector. Your dad is the one that you have nothing to fear when he's around, right? Like, that's how I feel when it comes down to my daddy in the physical realm. The same way I feel about God is the same way I feel about my dad. Like, if I know my daddy here, I know my daddy around, I'm good. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Ain't nobody gonna hurt me. Ain't nobody gonna try me. Nothing like that. Like, I'm fearless. You get what I'm saying? So that's the feeling I had. So I ended up staying close to this person. Like, that person came and he walked with me. He stood with me. And then out of nowhere, I felt that emotion or that fear again. But once again, I don't see it, right? So I'm like, why am I feeling like this all of a sudden? So then, while I'm like, once again, I'm still praising and worshiping, right, with everybody else in this area. Nothing was dark. There weren't no shadows around. It was just, everybody was just praising God. Like, and that's what I wanted, and that's what I chose, right? So I was like, and it was like in the midst of me feeling that little fear, like I knew that woman was back around, and I'm like, oh God, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, this ain't what she wanted. This ain't what she wanted. Like, at that moment, I knew this was not what she wanted, and I knew the reason why I was feeling that emotional fear and not really seeing what it is that I should have been fearing. But I realized that the fear that I was feeling was God warning me that this was not nothing divine. This was not nothing godly, right? So this woman appeared back. But mind you, the man that favored my daddy was still standing beside me, right? And so me and him is facing this woman right now. I wanted to call her a witch, but this woman was a fucking devil, bro. The fucking devil, and I'm gonna explain to you why. And this what really got to me, right? I'm standing there, and I'm not scared, y'all. Like, I'm literally like looking at this thing, checking it out, and actually getting details. Y'all, I finally looked at her hands. Her hands was like real long ass fingers. She still had a black cloth on. And this time I could see, you know, her face was like, it was kind of fucked up. It was disformed, like muscular, like sunk in type shit going on. You get what I'm saying? Her eyes was different. Her eyes, mind you, in the beginning, I never noticed her eyes. I guess because we weren't really looking at each other. She appeared beside me, and like I said, we were walking on this path, and she was promising me all these things, but the things that she was showing me, it was like, it was in darkness, so I couldn't even really tell you what the promises was, y'all. It was like I couldn't even really figure out the language that it was foreign to me. Like, it was as if it was being blocked from my ears for me to really hear exactly what she was saying. Like, I knew she was saying something, and she was speaking English. But it was as if Spirit was not allowing me to decipher what it was that she was promising me. You get what I'm saying? So, I'm sitting there, and I'm just listening to her talk, and she was like, this was not the path you were supposed to choose. You were supposed to do this. We made a promise, and I'm looking at her like, I ain't promised you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even say anything to you. You appeared out of nowhere and started just making these false promises. Because at this point, that's what I knew what it was. So the more she be talking, the more she began to talk, she come out, you're supposed to be a witch. You were supposed to be a witch. I promise you, you will be a witch. A witch. Mind you, that ain't none of the conversations that I had. So once she said that, I was like, oh hell no, this was a demon, this was a devil, right? This was the devil, y'all. And the more madder she got, the more disformed her face got, the more skinnier and strong and sunk in it looked it. Like, y'all, it was some straight vampire in Brooklyn type shit. Like, at the end, when his face started sunken in, and all, when he really got mad and started taking character of the vampire, it seemed like that's what this thing was doing, y'all. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, whoever it was that was standing beside me never left my side. They didn't move. They didn't tremble. They didn't shake. They literally stood by my side this whole entire time. I grabbed on their arm, because at that point, that's the only person that I felt security being by that person. I got behind that person because she was like, she took her finger